Hey everybody, it's Hosher Elements on Twitch. You can catch it streaming on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, even Sundays evenings after church. I'm super excited to be bringing you back with the brand new Pokemon Champions video, man. I'm super excited, man, to be back here. I'm super excited to be dropping a new video. Everyone's been saying, like, what you been up to? You guys can catch me on all my socials at Hosher Elements on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, Discord as well, and on Twitch too as well, which I stream on a daily basis. You guys want to know meta? You guys want to know championship teams? You guys want to know how it takes to get into Masters and singles? And you guys want to know how to get to Masters and doubles? I cooked up some pretty cool teams, man, and I'm super honored to be here, man, and I'm just super grateful for God, most importantly, for giving us the opportunity to life, man. So, without further ado, man, let's just drop right in. The meta has changed, and, we only have 6 more days until VGC is over, and so we have a brand new whole entire team, and I'm just super grateful to be here, and I'm just super grateful to, establish these teams, man. We got a bunch of teams we got to look at. So first things foremost, this is the team that took me all the way to VGC. I will show you guys down the rundown soon. So I have a lot of videos, man, that I cooked up, man, so you guys will see in the video how to use these teams, how to specifically utilize these teams. So without further ado, check out my new Master Rank VGC competitive team. This team is so goated and so phenomenal that I just want to say credibility to God and credibility to myself for making this team. I'm the reason why this team was even invested. Shout out to Coach Kamori, aka the GOAT Kamori, for helping me out too, as well with some transitioning, some tweaks and stuff like that. So, and also shout out to Matthew as well, man, for helping me build the builds too as well. So I want to say credibility of me picking the mons, me, putting the builds up together and putting their natures, but shout out to Komori and Matthew for tweaking up just some adjustments. So without further ado, let's lock in. So further, guys, we got Pelipper, we got Swampert, we got Archelodon, we got Sneasler, we got Basculegion, and we got Sableye. We got a rain team here, man. Make it rain, baby. And I'm super grateful to be using this team because realistically, this team is just so goated and just so essentially just phenomenal that I want to present this team. So Pelipper has Focus Sash. It's there for, grass types, for rock types, and then for the coverages like electric types. You want to be able to live one opportunity to just get your tailwind up. However, though, sometimes you get to see like some Mega Charizards, they want a Heat Wave. Well, guess what? Nuh-uh. We got White Guard for that. Sometimes you're going to match up with some Sylveons and you're going to want to see some Hyper Voices. Nuh-uh. Not going to happen. Sometimes you want to see some Farigirafs and, or even some, Floettes and want a Dazzling Gleam. White Guard prevents that. White Guard prevents Ascension moves, even like Earthquakes like that for coverages, like for Garchomp. Yeah, we don't have a Garchomp anymore, so shout out to Garchomp in general for taking us to VGC Master Rank competitive last season, but shout out to Sneasler for coming back to the championships, baby. So for Pelipper, we got Drizzle. Automatically want to establish rain threats. You want to just bring the rain right off the rip, and to be able to have this rain comparisons, you want to be able to match up components-wise, right, with Pelipper and Swampert. You can start up with these matchups too as well, because once Swampert Mega Evolves, his ability is Swift Swim. So what does that do? It boosts up speed, and additionally in the water, which is substantially outspeeds anything. And I mean outclasses everything and outspeeds everything. One Wave Crash to like anything is absolutely dead. The only annoying part sometimes you have to see is like like Sceptiles, Sinestras, which can be really annoying, Volcarinas. One Ice Punch legitimately dissolves that. It absolutely evaporates them. So I really want to just establish how goated Swampert is. This is the new Mega Evolution Swampert, and this is one of the newest Mega Evolutions that are out there into this world of Meta VGC. So I'm super proud to be able to bring this to transition into Light 2 as well, which I'm super grateful to see. Also, Pelipper is there to have Hurricanes. You really want to knock out those Venusaurs with like Chlorophylls. You really want to knock out those Staraptors that can be very annoying. So setting up Tailwind. Also, Weather Ball does great sometimes too. Say you have matchups like, Charizards and Venusaurs, they want to establish the sun, so you can get a free Weather Ball into that Venusaur, knock it out, switch into an established mon that you have in your choosing right here, bring back Pelipper for the rain, and you can set that up, which is super crucial. Earthquake doubles up, prevents Pelipper from not getting hit, so that's a really great combination that I love to establish, is that Earthquakes does not affect Pelipper at all. Sometimes you got an Earthquake with Archelodon being there, but that's why you have Protect. Also, Archelodon's so goated with stamina, so if you're getting punched, man, by like, fighting types, which rain establishment is very proc here. When you have the rain up, a close combat or a drain punch only takes half of your damage, which is insane. So if you didn't have the rain up, you'd get like a one-hit KO, realistically, right? But with the rain, it prevents that. Also, Tailwind is absolutely insane. Also, Electro Shot usually takes 2 turns, but in the rain, it takes a 1-shot, and literally a 1-shot at anything that wants to just be thrown at you at once. And also, cool thing about our Trelodon, with Electric Shot, is that you get a plus an additional attack and special attacking boost, which is so cool. So every time you use Electro Shot, you get a special attacking boost to your Archie, which is so cool. Dragon Pulses are for like the Hydreigons, you know, the Garchomps, you know, that just want to just stag proc on you and you just want to just kill them out the way and just knock it out the way. Flash Cannon to get those Whimsicots out there because, you know, they're super weak to Fairy, and sometimes you just really just need to get them out the way in order for you to just like prevent their tailwinds anymore. And also the Farigirafs, which is super cool. Archelodon is really great. Also, it's so bulky, dude, that it's literally just like a tower of tank. You're literally just there just getting tickled throughout the whole situation, and you got leftovers to pick up an additional proximate a munch of constantly, continuously getting HP for that. Also, Basket Legion is such a threat here, especially to like the King Gambits, to, you know, also the Sinistras, dude. Like, they're just so proc, dude, that I really wanted just to bring this to life. So sometimes you want to just start off with like Pelipper and Basket Legions, and you get a free flip turn, and I mean a free flip turn. Flip turn is priority, just like Aqua Jet. Sometimes you're gonna be locked into Choice Scarf, so that's why I gave it Choice Scarf, because it can outspeed everything and it locks into one move specifically, which I really love to show that out there. Aqua Jet is sometimes you're just gonna have to get there. Last Respects is so cool with adaptability. So what that does is Last Respects, if it's the last Mon that's literally out there and you have like the only thing that's out there is Basket Legion, I've seen Basket Legions 1v4 Pokemon. Last Respects literally doubles up for every single bond that's legitimately dead on the opposing side and on your sword too. So it just gets an additional stack boost on that, which is absolutely insane. Also, Wave Crash just one crashes and hits everything and one KOs everything, especially with the rain. It's just the freaking truck. Also, Flip Turn, like I said, gives you a free opportunity. Like, say you see like an Electros or something like that, you just want to get some damage and you don't want to get killed right away. Knock that bad boy halfway to damage. Switch into like a Sneasler, like prevent it, fake out, get some establishments, you know, run down some of those situations and be able to proc that damage too as well, which can be very comp for this competition. Also, Sneasler's just so goated. In my opinion, I had to bring him back here, which is super awesome. Unburden is pretty much like, you know, we get intimidated a lot, so that's gonna proc. So we're gonna pretty much outspeed anything in Trick Rooms and Tailwinds for anything for that matter, which is super cool. Even in Psychic Terrains too, and Misty Terrains for that matter too as well. So let's go. Dire Claw is so crucial, especially for the melodics that you see, and also the Primarinas, which are a super big threat. That honestly just knocks him out instantly. Also, cool thing is, sometimes they run him to be a little bit bulkier than usually. It's probably like a 2-hit KO. However, though, what does Dire Claw do? It procs on getting a Paralyze, which is very crucial. It procs on getting a Poison, which is very crucial. Also puts Pokemon to sleep, which is very crucial. Has a 30% chance of stat boost in those type of elements to be able to help you. Dude, I put so many Pokemon to sleep with Sneasler. It's been so clutch and so goated. And Close Combat just hits like a truck and hits literally anything, like Archelodon, just like knocking him out the way. Also, like, you know, Abominos knows for that matter too as well, which is awesome. I want to throw out here Sableye. Prankster's priority. Doesn't matter what other Mon you have. You have Trick Rooms, you have Pelipper. It doesn't even matter if you have a Mon that's extremely faster than Sableye. The ability Prankster outspeeds anything. Doesn't matter what it is. You can have the fastest Mon in the world, in the history of like Pokemon. Prankster's priority is always priority, which is really crucial here, because sometimes you want to just prop up with Rain Dance. Like, say, you know, they bring their megas, you know, Sandstorms like Tyranitar's and stuff like that, or their Charizards, and they want to just mega right away. Well, guess what? You Rain Dance right away, and the held item Damp Rock, instead of having, you know, Rain proc for like 4 turns, it's gonna proc for 6 turns, which is absolutely very long and very crucial, and which is really cool. Sometimes you're gonna get outspeeded by a lot of mons, like just insanely, like a lot of mons in general, even with Pokemon that are like have priority, like, you know, priority moves. But this is a really priority move because of the ability Prankster. So this is why Quash is really hopeful. I'm very goated here. What Quash does is you're able to pick any Pokemon on the opposite side of the teams that you're facing against, right? Which is super crucial. What does Quash do? It makes that Pokemon go last. So if you see that Pokemon being a substantial threat to your team, you can make that dude go absolutely last, and you can prioritize in knocking that person out instantly. Sometimes you really want to get annoying with Encore, and sometimes like people need to protect, especially when you're playing really aggressively offensively. Encore procs into protects, you know, Calm Minds. I've locked so many Floettes into Calm Mind. It's absolutely insane. Also, Willops is so goated, especially when you see a Garchomp threat, you know, which is very scary. You want to just Willops it. Get that burn damage, get that proc damage. This is really good. This is one of the best teams that I've ever made. This is the best team that I've ever made in the history of Pokemon. And I'm glad to share it. Let's dive into the stats right now. So for Pelipper, I wanted to invest in my IVs and EVs with a special attacking nature and also speed as well. But I also made it to a timid nature because I wanted to outspeed everything, but I also wanted to do some much needed damage. So that's why I maxed out his fastest special attack and maxed out his speed with the timid nature. I invested 2 IVs and EVs on special defense because sometimes thunderbolts, electro balls can be very crucial. Focus sashes are prompt, so you definitely want to live those rock slides if it comes down to it, or even possibly avoid them too as well if it happens. RNG in your favor sometimes. You want to be able to have that physical bulk special defensively, so that's why I'm running a timid nature on my Pelipper. Swampert, I made him very, very bulky when it comes to attacking. A dynamite nature, I really want him to hit like a truck. I just want him to be my one-hit KO. I want to just literally just swing a baseball bat and continuously hit home runs and home runs and home runs and just like literally walk these people like off the ballpark. So that's why Swampert is just a major threat in general. 2 EVs and investments in HP so it can live, like survive like a leaf blade, or an energy ball, like a dazzling gleam, a flash cannon, things that are, super weak to it. But even like, ice for that matter. But it's so outspeedy that legitimately it doesn't even matter because that's Earthquake, Wave Crash, Ice Punch to like legitimately destroy anything. Mega Swampert is like a legitimate threat and you should be very scared for that mod. So max attack, max speed with a dominant nature, 2 investments into his HP. So for like, HP death. Also Sneasler, we have the same rundown, a dominant nature, max attack, max speed with a jolly nature. I really want him to outspeed everything. His unburden hits is going to be absolutely crucial. 2 AVBs and investments into HP because sometimes, dude, miraculously, I've seen this man live on like 1 HP of Earthquakes and I'm just like, holy crap, goated. Or I just see this man living like triple axles and stuff like that from like Terse Arenas and stuff like that, which is very crucial. So those investments in HPs are very crucial. So make sure you put those 2 HPs into your Sneezers and you'll be rocking and rolling. Also, Basket Legion is just like a truck, a goat, a god. That man literally solo everything. That man Sung Jin Woo, baby. Also, max attack, max speed, with a defensive nature as well with 2 EVs in defense, which is an Adonamate nature with investment onto the defensive nature too as well. Because sometimes, you're just going to get hit with a lot of like, rock slides, a lot of, thunder punches and stuff like that. So especially for like Raichus and stuff like that, you want to be able to like, withstand something, especially sometimes even going against Master Legions yourself. In last respects, is physical moves, so you want to be able to like withstand those type of moves respectively, and even sucker punch is a physical type of matter too as well. So that's why you want to invest your EVs and IVs into the defense, which is super crucial there. But attack and speed is what you really, really want on this Pokemon. And also too, within a dominant nature, this thing hits like a truck, and this thing will legitimately carry you to Master Rank. Also, Sableye is really cool here in this situation here. I prioritize on maxing out his HP and max special defense with a bold nature. You're starting to think like, why didn't you just go with the calm nature and just keep his special defense going even higher? But his special defense is already maxed out that I wanted to invest into his defense. So that's why I made it a bold nature and invested 2 EVs into his defense too as well with HP. This thing is a truck. This thing lasts so long and this thing is just completely insanely goated. For Archelodon, I maxed out his HP. Max HP. I have a 187 in special attacks. I didn't max that out, and I put some 1 EV investment into special defense and 8 in speed with a calm nature. You're starting to think like, why didn't you make it bold? But stamina already gives you an additional boost that you're already getting free defenses. So why not invest in an actual nature that can give you special defenses for like special threats too as well, so you can be 2-sided into 1-sided, which is super crucial. This team right here is super magnificent and which is super crucial. Remember to block your wide guard moves, redirect it sometimes, hurricane those threats and knock them the heck out. Earthquake, Ice Punch, close combat to hit like a truck, Encore to lock into this Pokemon, Dragon Pulse, Electric Shot to get those special attacking boosts, which is super great. Also, I want to show another team here, which is super crucial. This is my singles team, but I made it into a singles, but I also want to show you guys that I really use it in doubles too as well, which is so cool. Sometimes you see like, Electros threats, right? And you thinking, or even Raichus, or any electricity Pokemon for that matter, or even Rotoms for that matter too, that really want to just ignore your Sceptile, but it's insane, and want to Thunder Wave you, right? So you automatically Mega Evolve with your Sceptile, and what Sceptile's ability is Lightning Rod. So if you get Thunder Wave, you're not going to get paralyzed. If you try to get Discharge, Volt Switch, Electric Ball, Zap Cannon, whatever it is, instead of you getting damaged, you're pretty much raising your special attack. And every time you get hit with an electricity move, you are legitimately boosting up your stats. Also, On the opposing side, which is your side on the offensive end, you can use it defensively and you can use it offensively too as well, which is super goated for this style. Rotom and Sceptile are like literally Michael and Scottie Pippen do, which is super cool because Discharge has a 35% chance of paralyzing. So when you Mega Evolve, you're not only getting a special attack and raise and boost and special attack, you also have the potential chance to paralyze 2 mons at once. And paralyzes are very crucial in matches. If you can paralyze your whole team, you're pretty much like in the GOAT for GOATness of like winning so many VGCs. Foul play, you know, to hit those, you know, dark type ghost types, which is super crucial here. Trick is really cool and respectful here. What it does is I'm Choice Scarf. So sometimes I want to be locked into something completely different, right? I want to get like, I don't know, a citrus berry that I see, you know, or sometimes I just want to take, you know, your life orb. It is depending on the matches, but sometimes realistically, 100% of the time, you want to just use your Choice Scarf. But however, though, Trick, it does come in clutch sometimes that you just need HP and you see something that, you know, like a Garchomp for that matter, and you really want to sting, so you just take it so you're able to like withstand like some rock slides, you know, and you get Citrus Berry and you can try to go for the discharges to paralyze it, which is super cool. Volt Switch is really cool, really crucial here. Sometimes you see a Charizard, sometimes you see a Water type, sometimes you run into some rain teams too as well, and you just want to Volt Switch. And what Volt Switch is, it's a priority move. It pretty much gives you the opportunity to take it back into your Pokeball. It's just like it knocks opposing Pokemons out like, you know, basket leashes like with one shots, which is really cool. But this Volt Switch is just so adapted, which is so cool that when it hits you like a truck, it comes back into your Pokeball. This gives you the opportunity to switch out into a Talonflame, Mamoswine, Gardevoir, and Gyarados, and for that matter, so, which is really crucial here. For Sceptile, I wanted to use Earth Power, especially for those Incineroars, which can be fairly annoying. And especially with those special attacking boosts, you get an opportunity to get like a 20% chance of actually getting a special defensive minus negative in natures on the opposing side when you use Earth Power, which is really crucial. Earth Power, it just gets Dragon Pulse, is so cool against Dragon types. This thing shreds. And also special attack boost when you have that, you know, Rotom matching into you, or if you're getting hit with electricity boost, it's literally procting on you. Also, Energy Ball is to just like kill those Blastoids. Sometimes they just want to spam there and just spam, you know, Water Sprout and Mega Blastoids for that matter too, or even like Zoomeros and all of that stuff. You really just want to get it out the way. Energy Ball is just so crucial, and Energy Ball has a percentage chance too as well, a 20% chance to get a special negative defense stat boost on your Pokemon on the opposite side of who the Pokemon that you're facing. So it has a potential chance of lowering people's special defense, which is super crucial, like Earth Power, which is fairly valuable. Talonflame, which is so good, dude. I think this is like literally the chosen one on my team. This thing literally just knocks out so much mons, which is super crazy. I see like a lot of Agrons and a lot of Mega Steelixes and stuff like that. So sometimes you just gotta be a little bit observant. And I repeat, Steelix and Aggron can be very big and be very crucial. So in this situation here, you just want to Flare Blitz with a Life Orb. Pretty much just one shots everything, or two shots anything for that matter, which is super crucial. Brave Bird is super crucial sometimes too as well when you go against like Corviknights, you know, when you go against Venusaurs, when you go against Sinestros and stuff like that, or even if you're going against a Blaziken, Fire is not going to do anything, but Brave Bird with a Life Orb does so much. Sometimes you want a Tailwind too as well to get your speed advantage and boost depending on the matchups, like speed boost for that matter. So you definitely want to just set up Tailwind, which is super crucial. Upper Head is so priority, so now know that you're getting intimidated, right? Or know that you have people that are going to fake out like Steezlers, you know, or Incineroars, you know, Raichus, man. Whoever can learn, like pretty much everybody can learn to fake out at this point. But anybody that has a fake out, you can use Upper Hand. What that does is stops it. So fake out's priority, 100% priority, but Upper Hand is a double priority. So if you fake out, Upper Hand stops that. You don't get no damage, and you get a free damage on the opposite side, which is very free and very crucial sometimes. Gyarados is so goated. One of my favorite Pokemon from the Kanto region, honestly. I think this guy is just so valuable, and it's such a big threat and such a valuable piece to this team. You want to have, like, you know, an intimidation, especially for these physical Pokemon that we're constantly seeing all the time, that just have so much physical depth. That intimidation, like, you know, for instance, like the Dragonites, break the multi-tails, whatever, regardless, but really crucial. Gyarados is just so goated, which is so valuable. It has Earthquake, so you can double up on Pokemon. Waterfall, which is hitched like a truck. This thing is literally killing and one-shotting like literally everything. Dragon Dance, sometimes you just want to do when you want to match it up with like Gardevoir, set up Trick Room, and you can set up a Dragon Dance and even set up another Dragon Dance because Gyarados is so bulky and so strong that you're getting a plus attacking boost and a plus attacking speed every time you're constantly using it. So with two investments or even one investment of one Dragon Dance, dude, you're over there killing like absolutely everything in the meta, which is so crucial and that's so goated. And plus you can have Gyarados like be like a chess piece, constantly coming and bringing them out, which is super cool. Into depth, Earthquake, Waterfall, Dragon Dance is super crucial. Also, Leftovers is so good because he's so bulky, so you're gonna constantly get, you know, a lot of, you know, HP back, which is super crucial. Mammoth Swine with Oblivious, which is super cool. So if people Pokemon come in there with like Intimidation and stuff like that, or a threat to like try to like, you know, lower the attack, Oblivious stops that. His literally ability stops that, so no intimidations can actually proc on that. We have Citrus Berry because it's such a Pokemon in general, and we just want to keep it there. Like, it's just so bulky that it thinks it's just a shank, but we have Citrus Berry there just to keep it even more bulkier than it is, so we can just keep it there. Icicle Crash has a 30% chance in flinching things, so if you see like Dragon Dance, Dragonites, you know, if you see like a bunch of like, you know, Hydreigons, you want to Icicle Crash, go for it. Most definitely, you have a percentage of actually getting an actual crit and also getting a potential chance and also flinching. Flinching is definitely process. Ice Shard is priority. Ice Shard will always go first. It's like Aqua Jets and stuff like that. So you'll always see Ice Shard going first, and sometimes you just need to go first, which is super crucial. Earthquake is just a truck. Also, Gardevoir is great. You start to think like, why do you have Focus Sash? Why don't you have a Mega Gardevoir on your team? Gardevoir is probably like the key of the heart of the team right here. You want to have set up a Trick Room team, which is very valuable here. And Dazzling Gleam just shits on anything, guys. It just literally crushes the game. Moonblast is there for special attacking moms, and also too as well, what Moonblast does, it lowers your special attack, which is really crucial. Gardevoir is so good, so you can match up Mammoth Swine with Gardevoir, and you could literally Earthquake while not even protecting on a Gardevoir, which is so cool because Gardevoir has telepathy. It prevents him from getting Earthquake, guys, which is so freaking crucial. It also prevents it from getting discharged as well, which is so crucial. So you can spam discharges, you can spam earthquakes, and you can literally just be chilling there with Gardevoir, which is super crucial. So you might want to start off with Mammoth Swine, Gardevoir, Sceptile, Rotom, or even sometimes even Talonflame with Sceptile, switch in, or even Sceptile and Rotom, you know, both switch, Mega Evolve, get that boost, bring in Talonflame, set up the speed, and bring in Gyarados to intimidate. So it's a really valuable team, and honestly, probably one of my favorite things that I've ever built in my entire life. So let's lock in. So our natures on our Sceptile, I want to down out there a modest nature. We invested 162 in special attack. Sitting here telling myself that why didn't you just max out your whole nature? If you max it out as a modest nature, I wanted to invest in a lot of other things because Sceptile is just so goated. I wanted to give it 154 HP investments, which are 9 huge investments on HP, so it can survive like ice punches, play roughs, dude. Oh my god, it's so crucial. I've seen this Sceptile go down, and I wanted to stay alive, and I just wanted to just be like, nah, you tried to kill me, you almost did, but this is my turn to show you why it's a big threat. So defense, you want to have 2 investments because, like I said, at the end of the day, ice punches are very scary. You know, play roughs are very scary, so you want to take those, you want to lift that, and you're going to pretty much outspeed everything. So realistically, you're going to be outspeeding all of those mons that I'm saying that are a big threat to your specific Sceptile. But however, though, you just want to be able to take the hit and be able to knock it out doubly, if anything, which is super cool. So make sure you have a modest nature on that. 172 max max speed, 162 in the special attack, 154 in the HP, 2 in the defense, and Rotom, max special attack, modest nature with max speed as well, and 2 defensively because those rock slides can hit hard like a truck. Talonflame, I really mostly invested into its max attack and max speed. This thing right here is just it's so fast already and has life orb. It's pretty much just like your 1-hit KO artist, substantially just like Sceptile and Gardevoir, which is super crucial. But I wanted it to put 2 investments into defense because those rock slides can kill you. But those like Thunderbolts are very scary, especially defensively. So I might want to in the future, might take 1 special investment into special defense and 1 into defense so we can neutralize it. But as of right now, I see a lot more rock slides, so we are investing that into the Talonflame so we can survive those and be able to do some damage. Gyarados, I mixed it up a little bit. I put, 190 into attack, 133 into speed. I wanted to outclass everything, and I put 105 into defense because it's so bulky and so crucial. I see so many, like earthquakes, so many like rock slides, so many like play roughs, so many thunder punches. The physicality and bulk on the Gyarados is just super crucial and super goated. Gardevoir, I just pretty much just invested my special attack in modest nature with max speed and 2 into HP. It's just pretty much just there to survive like 1 hit, but it's so goated that it's so bulky already, realistically, that look at his investments in special defense, and that's without even touching his special defense. Like 135, it's really insane, and it's really weak to like, steel types, so flash cannons and all that, like iron heads, can do so much damage, right? But it's bulky enough to survive so much, so it's really crucial. So this team is really fun and super goated, and hope you guys enjoy it. Also, last but not least, I have a team and another team that I want to show you guys. This team here is one of my favorites as well. And I got two Mega Evolution teams, which are super crucial here. So, Star Raptor, Sceptile, Grimmsnarl, Sneasler, Goldingo, and Cineroar. Welcome back, Sneasler. Welcome back, Cineroar. So, for this matchup, sometimes you just want to start off with the Star Raptor and Cineroar, bring two Intimidations right off the rip. You know, you just want to just put up pressure on the physicality booth. Just literally get them at, like, -1 individually, which is super crucial. Also, then you want to Mega Evolve Star Raptor, which is really crucial there. In close combat, anything. It doesn't even matter what you close combat, so what it does. So Star Raptor's ability, once it turns Mega Evolution wise, I repeat, Mega Evolution wise, it's legitimately contrary. What does that do? Anything that you throw negative is actually a plus positive. So what close combat is supposed to do is lower your defense and lower your special defense. So every time you're throwing a close combat, you're raising up your special defense and you're raising up your defense for that matter too as well. Brave Bird just hits like a freaking truck. And also, if you get parting shots like raising up your attack and special attack, Brave Bird and close combat will take you to master ranking, even to champions tier completely. Tailwind is there just to be annoying and be more faster than general, which is super crucial. Sceptile here for a little bit differently. Sceptile, we have Earth Power, of course. We have Dragon Pulse, of course. And we have Giga Drain. Giga Drain is really important here because we want to be able to get HP back. And sometimes it's just super crucial just to have your Sceptile just there and have value because it's so valuable, especially with its Mega Evolution, which is super cool. Especially if you have like electricity matchups, you just want to bring him out there so you can be really annoying. Sneasler's there. We already run the rundown, close combat, Dire Claw, Fake Out, Protect. You know, which is super crucial. So I already touched into Sneasler, but you already know what close combat does. Procs the Urban White Herb, which gives it more speed and more attacks. So pretty much one-shots anything. Dire Claw pretty much puts people to sleep, puts you to paralyze, and puts you to like legitimately take a nap, which is super cool. Fake Out to put pressure, stop priority moves and stuff like that, which is great. Grimmsnarl is so goated. I usually like the bring in Cineroar Star Raptor for threats, but sometimes I just want to be honestly just annoying, and I just really want to just use Star Raptor and Grimmsnarl, which is super crucial. So I want to just set up Prankster, like I said, is priority. It doesn't matter what it is, or whoever it is. Prankster is priority, and it'll always be priority. So what does Prankster do realistically? It pretty much just legitimately it lets you outspeed Trick Rooms and Tailwinds, and for that matter, and it doesn't matter what it is. Instead of a Light Screen and Reflect staying for 4 turns, it's going to stay for 6 turns with Light Clay. It pretty much, the item Light Clay is so crucial. Your Light Screens are there for 6 turns. Your Reflects are there for six turns. Dude, you're literally just like taking any threats, like any heat waves, like any physicalities that are thrown your way. Spirit Break is just there. Sometimes you want to do some chip damage, not too much damage, but some damage. So you're pretty much just part-shotting the Pokemon that you're going against and party-shotting your Star Raptor to victory, which is really crucial. Incineroar has Citrus Berry because you know it's bulky. We all Incineroars run Citrus Berry, honestly, for that matter, which is super cool. You want to have Dark Lariat to knock out those, you know, like Dark types, which are super crucial. You also want to throw in those Flare Blitz to knock out those Mega Evolution Metagrosses. You want to knock those guys out, and Cineroar is the best way to do it. Also, Goldingo's so was good. It's like so like not affected by a lot of things in general, because that's what good as gold plays out. Excuse me. Which is super powerful here. Life Orb is so crucial. This thing is like legitimately like one-shotting everything. Sometimes you set up a Reflect and a Light Screen, so you can set up a Nasty Plot, so you can be able to like, you know, take those damages and set up a nasty plot, even set up 2 or 3 nasty plots for that matter. Protect, nasty plot, you know, Light Screen and stuff like that, Reflect, Protect, which is really nice here. So all these make it rains are going to be crucial. 120% make it rain is just like knocking out 2 Pokemon at once. 2 birds and 1 stone, which is great. Shadow Ball is so crucial, and the thing I love about Shadow Ball has an opportunity to drop lower special defensive on Mon, so really crucial. I'm using EVs on Sceptile. You know, I wanted to put it max special attack, a modest nature with max speed, and 2 investments in HP. Star Raptor, I wanted to make it a jolly nature because I wanted to be extremely fast, but I also wanted to put 150 EVs of speed, 177 in HP, which is super strong, and I wanted to hit like a freaking train truck, so maxed out his attack too as well. So close climbing. Sneasler, we already know, 2 investments into HP, max attack, 200, and 172 in speed, outspassing everybody, which is super crucial. Incineroar's a little bit different. Also, a Dynamite Nature on Sneasler, Jolly Nature on Star Raptor, and Modest Nature on Sceptile, if you got this far into the video. Incineroar, I wanted to be, you know, Bold Nature. I just wanted to have bulk. I just wanted to be extremely bulky as possible. So 202 into HP, 104 into attack. Don't want it to hit too hard, but I wanted to hit super hard. 143 into special defense, and 114 defensively. This Pokemon has so many different EVs and IVs investments because it's literally your chess piece and it's literally your tank piece. So you want it there to prioritize in helping Staraptor and being able to help support the mons overall in general. Grimstar has the same investments too as well. I love Grimstar, and what I invested in this guy was legitimately bold nature, max HP, 202 HPs, 110 in special defense, and 110 in special into defense too. 110 in defense and 110 in special defense. It's literally identically the same, so it's even. Super even, which is super cool. So, it's a tank. 84 in speed, because sometimes you want to have that tailwind up, and it's going to pretty much be outspeeding everything. Also, Prankster is just so goated that you're going to go no matter what. Also, Goldango, I invested 193 EVs in HP. I almost maxed out his HP, but I didn't. 193 in HP. 120 in speed because I wanted to be super fast, and I got 2 EVs in special defense because those heat waves are really strong. Those shadow balls can be really scary, and 187 in special attack, and you don't even need that much because once you start nasty plotting, you're pretty much getting your special attack to pretty much max out in your stats automatically. So this team is fun. Hope you guys are able to enjoy it, and let me guys know in the comments below what you guys think. So without further ado, guys, we're gonna get invested into watching some videos that I made before, which are super crucial, and I'm gonna show you guys how well these teams work, and you guys are gonna be so freaking proud of me, guys. So this is my Sceptile team in doubles, so let's lock up. Nice. I also do see Gardevoir in this situation too, but Mamoswine does do good here though. I saw a lot of threats like Dragonites, Metagross, like, you know, Raichus, you know, Volcaradas, Pranksters, Grimmsnarls. I'm like, holy moly, like these guys are like legitimate threats, you know, really big threats. So, and I'm over here looking at this situation like, okay, we're gonna be optimistic here. We're gonna show this team right now. So I like my matches right here. You know, I like my Sceptile, I like my Rotom here in this situation here, which is super good. I wanted to Mega Ball right away. I wanted to just put a super threat into that Dragonite, which I wanted to do, and I wanted to discharge right off the rip too as well to put pressure on that Primarina and put pressure into the Dragonite and get that special attacking boost for that Sceptile, which played out really big in this match. In my opinion, it's more of a threat. In my opinion, but I think Dragon's Power Spirit Psychics were amazing. They were my favorite phones growing up. Now the Galaxies and iPhones are like taking over right now. We have Rotom here, which is right now I'm talking in chat, which is super cool. Shout out to my family for always showing up and showing me nothing but love and positivity. They're like absolutely the best people that I possibly have and can ever have in my life. They're like super really important to me, which is super crucial, and I love them with all my heart. They're like the best people that I possibly can have, which is super crucial. Does that kill Dragonite? Let's go, and we got that Dragonite right off the rip, out the way. We knocked it out. Bye-bye, Dragonite. That does a lot of damage. But we lived that, which was super cool. Because remember, Rotom, my Rotom specifically is electric and fire, so it's weak to water. So it's pretty tanky. What's an embarrassing moment your brain refuses electric forget? Oh man, when I had to use the washroom, it was so horrible. What about you? Volcarina here plays a big threat into Sceptile. But that guy can be a big threat. But I think in this situation, I just Dragon Pulse here, and I just pretty much discharge here, just because I'm right here. I know I hit Volt Switch, but I prioritize on discharges because we're Choice Scarf here in this situation. Well, it'll be a special attack too, though. However, the Volcarina does have Heat Wave, and that can be very scary in this situation for my Sceptile, though. But we outspeed him. We outclass him. We got paralyzed on Primarina, which is really nice to see too as well. So let's go. We got discharge coming in here. Lightning Rod right here, which is very impressive. And then shout out to the new person that just came into Discord too as well, which is super cool here. Love to see it. However, though, I think this does play good though. I think this does kill though. Dragon Pulse kills it. That definitely does kill. Get him out of here. Who's playing right now in the World Cup? My team Mexico qualified. They were the first qualifiers to win. I think USA's playing right now. I'm gonna refresh the page. So I apologize. Good luck, bro. Sorry, I was watching the World Cup. Let's go, gang. Love it. Dragon Pulse does not get out. That definitely does kill. Good luck, bro. Sorry, we're watching the World Cup. Who's playing right now in the World Cup? My team Mexico qualified. They were the first qualifiers to win. I think USA's playing right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. And dude forfeited. The dude forfeited right off the rip. So we got another matchup here that I want to throw out. There. Hold on. He has Rotom and Charizard, which is great. He just gave me a special boost automatically. I know it's a big threat into Sceptile here, which is really crazy. But the Earth Powers do not hit Limitation Pokemon, FYI. So in this situation, I know I Dragon Pulse into the Zard, and we just legitimately just discharged in this situation. That's if the Mons were there in that situation. Yeah, and we discharged it, which is super important. Super important here. What you think about this Sceptile, Junior? We're 4 victories in a row right now. We should be faster here with Rotom. We got discharge here playing out with Lightning Rod, which is super crucial. And I hope we got the paralyzed here. Hopefully we got it, but we didn't, and we didn't. And then Dragon Pulse just cleans up right there. Cause we finished Charizards, bro. Let's go, man. Hey, bro, how are you, JT? What's up, gang? Rotom avoided the attack, though. That's wild, bro. Also, Junior, Dark said hi. You better say hello to her, mister. Better say hi to her. Junior, I made a whole new team. I made a whole new squad. Mega Sceptile thing, baby. This King Gambit here is a big threat, but we're already at a flash special attack into boosting Sceptile already. So we're just gonna Earth Power it and just pretty much just knock it out. We can Earth Power him. He's probably gonna sucker punch here. And we just got discharged in the situation here, which is doubling up into not only the Rotom, but into also the King Gambit. Rotom got, can I get a paralyzed? Yes, and we get paralyzed. 30% chance of getting a paralyzed, which is super crucial, especially in a lot. Earth Power just knocks him out, which is very crucial. Clean him up. Clean his ass up, baby. Let's go, bro. I'm gonna say this again. Say what again? What is the biggest sign of a weakness in a person? There's no weakness in nobody, but everyone does have their flaws, though, that can continue to like recuperate themselves individually and make themselves better people, right? But there's no flaws in nobody. I think everyone has their own unique way. Mimikyus are very big annoying matchups here because at the end of the day, I hate going against them. Sometimes they can be really annoying here because at the same time they're very crucial and they can be a big threat. And I want to show you guys how valuable, this guys can be really annoying because you have to double up on these mons. But this is why discharge is so goated. So you break the disguise here, and we're just pretty much just gonna kill the Mimikyu at this point. We got paralyzed, bro. We getting all the paras, baby. Oh my god, I love to see the paralyzes. Love it. His disguise was busted, which is crucial. That's why doubling up sometimes in VGC is very important, and you just knocked it out. Good night, Cinnamon Chat. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Mega Sceptile gang going crazy right now, baby. Mega Sceptile going crazy right now, bro. Oh my god, my goat. My tree goat, go. Let's go. And at this point, we're pretty much at a 5-game winning streak, and I wanted to show you guys how valuable that team was overall. So, we're gonna show you guys now another valuable team, which is very, very crucial here, and I'm gonna show you guys my team investments into my. Oh, speaking of which, I think it's in the same video that we invested in, or is it in the same video? No, actually no. So we're gonna go into here, and I'm gonna show you guys how to use this team specifically. And I repeat, specifically online-wise, which is super. We won the June 2026 championships, and to this day, I'm very proud of this team. So this is the first game right here that we bashed into. We got Gardevoir in the back, though. We need to carry 3 hours fucking late, Robert. So I see the Corviknight in the situation here, right, which is super scary. But I know that I have Talonflame to clean that up. I know Gardevoir proc's really good into, like, their Dragonite and into the, Tyranitar, which is super scary for that matter too. So shout out to Fusion, shout out to Scruffy, shout out to Zach, bro, Scott, Red in chat right there too as well, which is super dope, man. Shout out to Bob too as well, man, for showing always up, man, to my teams, man. Got my team go hard, man, and I'm super grateful. They always show up for me, man, which is super nice. Thija's there too as well, vibing and I'm rocking. I pretty much just earth power this guy and just break the skies. But I think I just switch out here. Honestly, respectfully, I think I do switch. Yo, I do ball with him. Look at that.
Scott, why are you like 3 hours fucking late, Robert? Welcome in, dude. Welcome to the championship rounds, Robert. Welcome in. Out of 30 games, Scott, out of 30 games, we won 28.
Out of 49 games in total, I won 36 out of 9. I've only lost like 9 games. Out of 36 games, well, there was more games than that, right? But we had 36 victories and only 9 losses, which is super crazy. Also, shout out to Dark for pulling up in there, man. I love that woman with all my heart, man. She's dope.
I did not know that. We lost this one 100% sure. Damn. This is why, when it comes to BBC, I like to lock in a lot. Okay, so
we still win this one, though, I think, right? Yeah, we still win this one because Talonflame right here just carries. Like, oh my goodness, this thing just like legitimately just kills. I'm getting a message, so be very, very patient with me. Nice. I'm getting some text messages from some people, which is nice. We trade one for one here, which is really crucial.
We got Gardevoir in the back though. We need to carry here.
Gardevoir just plays so great, man. So goated. I love me some Gardevoir, which is so nice.
Have you played any Fortnite today?
So goated. We see Tyranitar here, which is super scary here. We're gonna probably see a Mega Evolution here coming out the rim. But we got Gardevoir in here, which pretty much cleans up.
We even have keychains. Do you collect keychains at all?
Stone Edge. Gardevoir missed that, which is so goated. I think he misses 2 of them for this matter, which is insanely goated. Shout out to my views too as well, man. I got over like I think like 154 views for this video right here, which is really nice, which I was really proud of. I'm always proud of like my views and stuff like that, which is really crucial. Love to see it.
Dude, back to back of boys, bro.
Yes, sir.
Back to boys with you.
Oh yeah.
My God, let's fucking go. We're cooking.
We're cooking.
We're cooking. We're cooking.
We're cooking.
My phone's about to die. You better get.
We're gonna go grab some water, but I'll be right back. Enjoy the views of the content.
Yo, we're in the championship rounds right now. G. Let's go, baby. Oh my God, let's go. Dude, 2 back-to-back Stone Ages. They missed. 2 back-to-back Stone Ages. They missed, dude. Oh my God, the trucks look nice. The other picture.
We ended up winning this game here too as well, and I'll show you guys a couple more. I'm going to show you guys the raid team too as well, so you guys can see how valuable this team is. So insanely goated. So we pretty much just clean house with Tyranitar here, which is super nice here.
One time you gave me a big box full of stuff.
And I think he brings out his Dragonite here, which is last too. So I predicted these matchups because you just gotta have like knowledge matchups. Sometimes when you proceed into certain situations, you legitimately just want to proc on situations. I just pretty much just boom blast here the whole way. Ice Beam survives here. Honestly, Gardevoir low-key survived here, and we procced on legitimately not getting frozen here because Ice Beam freezes, which was really nice.
Oh my God, you're absolutely shitting me right now, dude. You're absolutely.
And that was a pretty big crit.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And it survives one more Ice Beam, by the way.
We kill. We lock and load. We cook right now. We cooking. Ice Beam. We survived that. Let's go, Gardevoir, you freaking go. Let's go. Can we get some changes in the chat for the championship rounds for 2026? Go, man. Go, man. Yo, Matthew. I'm trying to think about bringing Talonflame, but it's fine. This is kill though. Please let me kill.
We were just balling.
We killed a Charizard. I'm negative one.
We was just straight balling, guys. 100% balling.
Yo, Rose. You know I
Shout out to Rose, baby.
I picked up that Gardevoir, Queen. You know it, Queen. You know it.
My boy Matthew right here, which is super really fucking awesome, by the way. Shout out to Matthew as well, man.
Shit. We're faster. He's gonna Mega Ball. That's totally fine. He doesn't know what I have in the back though. So he's gonna Mega Ball.
we're always gonna see Mega Raichus, Mega X's, Mega Y's. This was a Mega X, by the way. Mostly Mega X's I've seen over Mega Y's that I noticed. But trust me, you will see a Mega Y though. Just throwing it out there. Mammoth Swine right here is pretty much goated. Pretty much hits the KO with one Earthquake, which is like super freaking goated here and super crucial here, which I really love to see.
If he doesn't have that, then we're okay. Drain punch one. We take that. We take that. We got a citrus berry.
And we got citrus berry, which is, I'm telling you, that citrus berry rocks, guys. Use it, value it. Earthquake, get him out of here.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go! Yo, Matthew, we won, baby. Matthew, we won.
I don't know what streak we're in here, but we like went on a freaking streak, dude, and that was like super goated. That was 7 wins right there, you guys. See, 7 wins right there, and that just goes to show that that team was really good. I also want to show you guys the doubles team that we created here, and I'm going to show you guys this team right here. So I want to show you guys this team that we pretty much cooked up here. So give me a second.
It's red, bro. Rose, you were here, Rose. We were winning. My God.
So we pretty much have the same team that I showed you guys, the doubles team, which is really cool. So I'm gonna show you guys how to really use this team and how to really manage to use this team, because this team is really crucial here. You did amazing. World champion of June Hashira. You already know it, gang. Let's go. So I see Politoed here, which is a free rain, you know, which we have proc rain too as well. However, Marascrowd is like really crucial here because Marascrowd has Rotate, which turns his moves into like grass types, even though it's a grass milk Pokemon too as well. But we pretty much just last respects here in the situation, and yeah. Or maybe we flip turn. Yeah, I wanted to flip turn actually. Okay, that's nice. The cool thing is flip turning is just so crucial, guys. It's very important that you use flip turns. It's just so goated. It's so substantial that you legitimately just want to use that. It's so good for your advantages. It is so crucial that you guys want to use the system.
So, yeah, that's my downfall. That's not it. Tell me right there, but that's fine. He was on YouTube. Let's go, Rose. He was on YouTube.
So he withdraws with Scarlet, gives us a free flip turn, into Archie, which is really big here. And yes, we give him a stamina boost, which is totally fine. But we get a free flip turn right here. But I think we double up into the Archilodon for that matter too. Because Archilodons are really big right here. So we bring Sneasel here, because Sneasel is very important for Archie. We doubled up on him. So we pretty much got him at 40 HP, which is really crucial here. Psyche pretty much gets me into like, I think like half damage to my health, which is good. I think I procced onto Tailwind in this game. Yeah, because I just really want to be super fast, and then I close combat into the Archie, I think, yeah. And that's what's scary too as well, but we're faster though. I was tempted here. Honestly, in this situation, I should have Dire Claw, but I know for a fact I think I closed combat. But Dire Claw probably would have been the play to the Politoed. But like I said, you really want to get that Archie as gone as possible, because those electro shots could be really crucial, especially into your Pelipperts, which are not friendly. White Herb hits, we got Tailwind, we're balling. But however, though, we lose into the situation to the, you know, the situation that we're unfortunately in, because Politoed has Psychic. And I knew I was dead right there. But we have Tailwind up, which is very important here, which is really cool. I think I bring in, well, I had to bring in Basket Legion for that matter, so I definitely brought Basket Legion here.
And we might have to rotate Pelipper just for the simple fact that we got rain up, and I don't want to lose the rain. The opponent doesn't have drop.
And I think we switched up into Pelipper too as well, because the rain was really crucial here. And I think I white guarded at certain sometimes too as well, which were super crucial as well. It's always good to check your tailwinds. It's always good to check your raids as well, because you definitely want to proc into that. So Last Respect just goes so hard, bro. It's a Politoed, which it could have killed it. And then we Hurricane this Marascata. And he's Focus Sash, unfortunately, which is unfortunate, right? Which it is what it is. However, though, we ended up getting, like, you know, the Mariscata out of this situation after he flower tricks, which is super important here for this matter too as well, because he hits us here, and we ended up like actually dying here, which is totally fine. But this is why Mega Swampert is like super goated here. And just super strong. I think I Mega Evolve him too as well, which is super cool. We lived that, which is super fine here too as well. And plus, we have Tailwind right here, which I'm going to show you guys what a Mega Swampert looks like in battle, which is super scary, but I love it. And we pretty much just Mega Evolve and hit Earthquake so we can double up on 2 Mons, which is super crucial here. And yeah, we just knock out both of these guys. I think he forfeits here, but we still get to see the Mega Evolution though, which is super nice. Hopefully you guys are able to help. Hopefully I'm able to help you guys out. Hope you guys are able to learn through my VGC competitive videos too as well. Now I want to show you guys the possible matchups. It's so good to have matchups. Sometimes you know, you're just gonna have to match up with certain mons, and I just want to show you guys how to win, man. You know, and winning is really important, especially if you want to climb up the ranks of the ladders into VGC. It's just super crucial for that matter, you know. And we ended up winning. Polytoad ended up dying, and you know, Mescaraton died as well. And we got Archie's got off the way too as well. And I think he was bound to one last one. So it was Basket Legion was his last one. So we right here pretty much just like Hurricane and Earthquake throughout the whole way. We have one more rain. And also they do run sucker punches, but I don't see them running sucker punches as much as anymore, because they really flip the meta a lot and they switch the meta a lot, so don't really worry too much about the sucker punches, but it could happen though, just FYI. So we Earthquake that doesn't affect my Pelipper, which is here, which is nice, and we just do some damage into that basket. And then we just pretty much just Hurricane and knock it out, and then we get the GGs. And we got the Confusion here, which is super important, and he just dies by Confusion. Boop. Snap out of Confusion. Bam. Chat, baby, let's go. And that's how you beat a Japanese player, a high-ranked Japanese player for that matter too as well, which is super important here, which is very crucial here. I also want to show out to love to everybody, man, in general, man. And this is how you go. I won 8 games in a row. I repeat, 8 games in a row with this team. So just to show you guys how valuable this team is. Also, guys, I want to show you guys my channel. You guys are able to follow me on Twitch, Hashira Elements. Be Hashira Elements right here. We got Shiny Suicune, which is one of my greatest moments accomplishments in my life, which is super crazy. We ended up getting like Shiny Latias here, which is super crazy. And this was one of the opportunities that when we got Shiny Latias, which is super cool. We get a lot of shinies in here, guys, which is super cool. And we got the Shiny Latias right there. So look at it, go.
Holy fucking moly!
Shiny Limas, bro.
Let's fucking go! What's the fucking respect of me?
What's the fucking
go? Let's go! Let's fucking go! We finally got it. We're about to eat. Let's go.
We're about to eat, baby, which is nice. So we're currently at 3,600 followers on Twitch. You guys want to show me some love and some respect? That would be awesome. We also do have a server too as well on our Discord, and I'll show you guys our Discord too as well. If you guys want to join up onto the Discord, you guys are mostly welcome to. We have over 300 plus members in our server, and it's really popular here. So if you guys want to just show us some love, lock in, man, and you guys are able to know knowledge. If you guys want to know knowledge, and I repeat, knowledge and wisdom, and when it comes to VGC, or if you guys want to just know anything about Pokemon, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.